This is Morons at First Sight, the unofficial, official Married at First Sight recap podcast, where we break down the ins and outs of the morons of Married at First Sight. To help you down this journey, I'm Ricky.
I'm Ari.
And welcome to Morons at First Sight.
Yeah.
Today, we are going over episode 5 of season 7, if you are watching along with us.
And if you are, oh my God, I'm shocked.
You've made it this far. What is wrong?
Right.
What is wrong with you?
If these people can commit to strangers, you can commit to following along with our podcast.
Let's see, irrefutable evidence right there.
Yeah.
It's like empirical data. Right. Scientific method and everything.
Yeah.
I
It's
agree.
real shit. Thank you.
Follow along. Ah.
Okay. So this episode, they're still in Cancun. Well, 2 of the couples are still in Cancun. Mm-hmm. Who do you want to start with?
I think, I didn't get a lot of notes this episode.
I have no notes on Danielle and Bobby. Should we just
Me
start with
neither.
them?
Yes.
Yeah, I have nothing on them.
That's the same thing with me. I watched it and I was like, they're too good together.
Nothing's happening. They're so boring.
The only thing I wrote down for them is the bathtub was awkward.
I wrote about the bath too.
That's the only thing I got. They're like, for one, they're wearing swimsuits in a bathtub.
Well, because they're on camera. She's not going to have her tits out.
I know, but still, that's got to be so uncomfortable. Just be like, oh, we're on camera.
Well, it's couldn't they have done the bath scene off camera? But I guess they have to have some juicy stuff for the show.
Yeah.
I mean, they got into the shower naked.
No.
Yes. I didn't see Danielle's bathing suit.
I think they were still wearing something, and she was still wearing her eyelashes.
Yeah, I really wanted to see those eyelashes in the shower.
What do you mean?
I wanted the shower water. I wanted her to be and just let the shower water blast onto her face.
And then the eyelashes fall off.
I wanted to see what would happen, yeah.
See, it's because of you I'm noticing these small little details now. That was episode 1 that we brought up the whole makeup thing.
Well, she also has light skin and light hair and jet black eyelashes that are extremely thick and long. So it's obvious, those aren't your eyelashes.
I could see the little corner peeling up on her eye.
Yeah, you can see in the inside. She needs to cut them to fit better.
What's the point of long eyelashes?
Long eyelashes are I don't know. I guess they just make a lot of women feel better, and I think maybe it's more, I guess, feminine to have longer eyelashes, or it feels that way, I think, to some women, and I think that I've curled my eyelashes before, perm curled them, because mine are pretty long, but they're not curled, and I've curled them and permed them so they're curled, and I felt so beautiful after I did that. And I guarantee no one knew I did that but me at all.
That's probably true. I never noticed those things.
Yeah, it was actually recently and you never said anything. So,
whoopsie.
No one noticed it, but I felt great. I think that's how Danielle feels in her eyelashes. She just feels confident, and fucking more power to her,
I curled my eyelashes once and I didn't feel any different.
Well, it's different when you curl it with the curling wand, I guess. Yeah. They fall after a while with that.
It's because, what was it? I think it was 8th grade. I was at a couple of girls' houses.
Yeah.
And they were like, let's curl your eyelashes. And I was like, okay, cool. And then that was it.
You were allowed to go to houses of the member of opposite sex when you were in middle school?
Yeah, why not? You weren't allowed to?
I'm still not allowed to.
You live on your own. You're a nurse practitioner, and family's still nah, I don't think that's
My
a good
dad's still
idea.
yeah, Bubba, don't talk to boy. For real, though. Okay, so that's on them. Anything else on them? I have one good note.
They work.
They're good together.
As much as I want to keep talking shit on them.
Right.
They're just kind of fuck. Like, even the episode even the show editors and producers know this.
And they got less airtime.
Exactly.
For real, because they're so boring, because they're so good together.
Yeah. And, like, I know, like, in the first episode, we were talking about, like, Bobby's psychotic tendencies.
Dude, he seems like a complete gentleman and a nice man.
And it's eating me up inside.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I like it because I think that they deserve to be happy, and I do want them to just chill out and be happy. But just wait till they introduce their dogs.
But you know who else deserves to be happy?
Me. Yeah.
You know what,
I knew you were going to say that.
You know what makes me happy? Tearing down people for having the happiness that I don't have. And that's how I get my kicks in life now.
Oh my God.
And I can't get that if other people are happy.
You're evil.
I know, I'm very sadistic.
No, you're not. You're a nice person. I do have another note where she said, remember we talked about Bobby's ring size in like episode 1. She said she wants everybody to know PSA. We talked about the little sailors and him not fitting a Magnum condom. Well, Danielle is here to say that ring size does not correlate with wiener size.
I picked up on that too. Mm-hmm. And I laughed at that. And I was like,
Yeah.
And even then, that still didn't give me enough juicy drama.
Well, it's right, though, because I have really skinny fingers and I have a huge dick.
It's true.
So
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like an elephant trunk.
It's like, yeah. It's coming out of the bottom of my pant leg as we speak.
Could you not tell that was like an elephant trunk?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I can tell.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it for them, really. They also don't want to schedule having sex.
Yeah, which who does?
Right. It was just like, well, that's... okay.
Great, you said a normal thing.
Right.
Good for you. The only reason like the editors added it in was because they was talking about sex.
Yeah. Exactly.
They're like, ooh, penis and vagina controversy.
Sex, right.
Yep.
Yeah, I have nothing to say on them. They're so boring. Yeah. So congratulations to them, dude.
I guess.
You know?
So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what they came for.
Predictions, like you said, when the dogs like come out in the pre-cap, like Bobby's walking out with his dog and he like looks at her dog and is like, shut up.
He said no, he was talking to his dog because his dog started like going off the chain.
No, he said it to the other dog.
He told her dog to shut up?
Something along the lines that obviously I'm coloring it a little bit more for presentation.
Right.
But yeah, her dog was barking. He was like, oh, hush.
Hush.
Yeah.
It's like the meanest you can get. Yeah. Oh, hush. For gosh sakes. Well, okay. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens when their dogs meet. Because their dogs were not... They were barking at each other, but also, like... I'm sure that'll settle. Like,
yeah, they're dogs.
They're dogs, yeah. Like, I think it'll be fine.
They'll get over it. And if they don't, they're just going to... That's going to be the one, like, string of drama that they're going to, like... connect to for these two. For, like, the entire rest of the show. It's like the producers and like the therapists and stuff are just like, we're losing the bet now. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, this couple is gonna have to really work through these dogs not getting along, and it will be so telling as to what challenges they can face in the future.
Camera zooms in on a dog's face with like that dramatic noise in the background. Dun dun.
Don't. I think that it could take a turn, and they'll both euthanize their dogs, and it'll bring them closer.
Episode done. There we go.
I knew when I said that, like, it's a joke, but it would make some people butt hurt. But that's a joke. Like, I don't even eat animals. That's a joke. Okay.
So, when you go into your closet, you got just a pile of dead puppies. For
all the relationships that never worked out, just a pile of dead dogs. One to represent each lost love. I'm psychotic.
That's Sparky.
But yeah, I don't have anything else to say about them. I can move on to another couple and get into some juice.
All right. David Amber. Let's just go.
Yeah.
Because some shit happened with them that was kind of hilarious.
Really funny.
So.
You want to say?
Well, I want to first say that. I forgot what I was going to say. Yes, him hating salsa dancing.
Okay. No. He hates any kind of dancing.
Because he's boring.
I think he's boring and he's insecure.
You think that's why he wouldn't salsa dance?
Yeah, he's super insecure. Like, the way he was acting, he was like, oh, you guys just fucking do it. Like, I'm done, guys. I'm done. Like, what?
For
like,
anyone who's like listening and doesn't understand what happened, Amber and Dave wanted to connect and have a little date, and so they went to a salsa class dance.
Because Amber was like, I love dancing, and like, I want him to dance with me. Like, that was important to her.
Which is totally reasonable.
Fine.
And then he gets all super sweaty and butthurt about having a salsa dance.
Right.
And like you said, he goes to the instructor and says, I'm fucking done.
I'm fucking done. You
And
just
then
dance with
walks
her.
away.
You dance with her. Like, oh my God. If I was on a date with somebody, because I'm thinking of these as like they're not married. Like, if I was on a date with someone and they did that, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'd be like, you're so mean. Like, that's. She's like, I feel bad that he's embarrassed. I'm like, I feel
No.
bad that he yelled at you in front of a salsa instructor.
Right? And it's salsa dancing.
It's
Like-
a freaking ball change. That's it. It's
what?
not that hard. Like the moves they were learning. They were just learning the basics. Front to back, side to side, and a little crossover. It's not that complicated. So, I don't know what to say. Like, I understand being in, maybe if you can't dance, like you would be embarrassed a little bit. But you just kind of keep that a secret and keep trucking along. You know what I mean? Like, you don't blow up on everybody present.
Especially over dancing. Like, I know people are like,
Yeah.
are like self-conscious and can't dance and stuff like that, but like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me because like if I were on a honeymoon and like my wife was like, let's go dancing, you're like,
That's
Fuck
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
and like if it comes to a dance that I don't like I don't like this dance, but I'm gonna have fun anyways. Cause
Yeah, or I'm just gonna try to learn it anyways. Like, like they're not out here like entering a competition. Okay, she's not like, Dave. I really need you to be good at this, so there's a shitload of pressure. Like, she's just like, yeah, like let's have fun. Not to mention their dance lesson is them all alone with just one guy. They're not like in front of a bunch of people.
oh, except for millions and millions of viewers like us.
Well, oh, okay. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I didn't think from that perspective, and you're right. I see how he was embarrassed now. Because at first I was like, they're alone. I don't understand. Okay. That makes sense.
That one camera following them around represents millions of people.
Right. But you should be more embarrassed to be a dick and be like, I'm not going to try, or I'm going to act this whole way. Like, I'm basically going to ruin this experience for someone. Like, you should be embarrassed to do that. Instead of embarrassed, just look dumb dancing. Like, who cares?
Yeah. Dancing's fun.
Dancing's fun, and everybody looks silly sometimes. Like, you're not going to be great at everything. Who cares?
Right. No, I totally agree. I would totally have gone salsa dancing. I would have made my ass shake. I would have done it all.
Hell yeah. Shake that ass, Ricky.
But
Well, he also was majorly sweaty.
like comically sweaty.
Yeah.
His shirt was drenched. Like, it was funny. He's like, the 1 second the camera cut away, and then there's just like a few little dribbles like poking out of his nipple. Camera cuts away for another 2 seconds. Front of his shirt soaked, and then cuts away again when they're walking away. The entire back of his shirt is just blanketed in sweat.
It was like as if they had been caught in a storm on the way back from salsa dancing. Was his shirt? He had to change it for dinner that night. She was in the same outfit and he was in a different shirt. And you know, I understand that white people can't dance, but I really think that he could have tried a little harder. He wasn't that bad.
It's like from what they're showing, the moves look easy. Like I don't know.
I'm
what
telling
they
you,
call
it's all they had to do. It was like front to back, side to side, and a crossover. All of it, simply the ball change. He didn't even teach them turns, nothing. It's not
as far
hard.
as we know.
Well, as far as Dave let the lesson get, I think is actually what happened. Because turns come after you learn all those things and you get good at those. Like, that's when you will next start to learn turns. You don't just blow into that. And I think Dave, like, that's like lesson number 2. But
You've
I think
taken salsa classes, haven't you?
I've taken every dance class ever imaginable. But,
Have you?
well, yeah. You know, I did ballet and all that shit like forever, my whole life.
Oh, well,
Yeah. And then as an adult. Anyway, yes. So the point is, I think he cut it off before they could even do anything.
I think he was just embarrassed that he's sweaty.
I think he was okay. I think it was like a vicious cycle. Like he was embarrassed that he was horrible at dancing, okay? And then that made him sweaty. And then he was embarrassed that he was sweaty and horrible at dancing. And then that made him more sweaty. And I think it just kept like going until he was drenched.
Isn't salsa dancing like one of the sexiest dances out there too?
I mean, allegedly, but not when you're drenched in sweat and yelling at your partner. It's not sexy at all.
Because that's what I would have kept going for, is just like learn more. It's like, ooh, this dance gets sexy.
Yeah, right. Like I think a normal approach for a guy who maybe isn't as comfortable is to be like, oh, you know what? We're kind of going to dance around. I get to see my girl shake her like hips and butt a little bit. And like, you know, this might be like, she's going to think this shit's romantic and a little sexual. And like, we'll probably bang after this. That should have been his approach. And I'm going to try something new for her. Gives me good points. You know? Mm-hmm. Not like the way he did it. Ugh.
This is boring Dave we're talking about.
Insecure.
Mm-hmm. And then after that,
Sorry, I wrote Dave is sweating up a storm during salsa.
mine just says
that,
Dave hates salsa dancing.
After that, their like religion talk, I guess, at dinner.
All right. So what did you think about it? Because I have an opinion on that, but let's hear yours.
Oh, well, yours seems really strong. My stance is really just like, apparently he's Christian. Like, sorry, let's call it. He's not Muslim. I know that. Like, I don't think he's Jewish. Like, he's Christian because he said my faith. Like, Christian people say that. I'm not trying to generalize and, like, be insensitive. It's fine. He's Christian. So he's obviously, like, pretty deeply into that. But I guess during his interview with the, I was going to call them judges, with the professionals or the therapists or whatever, he was like, oh, I don't go to church every Sunday. I don't care. So he got matched up with somebody who's not religious at all. And she said she thinks that religious people are judgmental and hypocritical, and she had like a stance on it, whatever. And I think that kind of like, hurt his feelings. I think that like, to me, like, who cares? Like, I'm not religious. So if somebody was like a little more religious that I was with, I'd just be like, I don't care. Right. Like, that's between you and God. I don't give a shit. Just like, you know, don't try to push that on me. That would be different. But like, that's fine. You know, great.
No.
I don't understand why, like, she's so against it. Like, I'm like, just chill out.
Well, here's my take on the situation. I actually thought they had a perfectly normal conversation and came to an understanding towards the end of it. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, he even called her, he's like, I mean this in the most respectful way possible, but you sound hypocritical, judgmental and stuff. And I agree with what she's saying. I agree with what he's saying and things. But my blame here is on the editors, because I was laughing that entire time during the whole thing, because I need to like find the sound bite. Maybe I'll find it and I'll put it right here. Mm-hmm. All right, we hear the noise. So they kept playing that noise every time anyone of them said anything. It was like dun dun, like almost like SVU type
to make it so dramatic.
Yeah, I was like, they're not being that dramatic. They're having a normal conversation.
No, they had a nice, respectful conversation, but I think that she's just a little bit more intense than, like, it was a little surprising to me how, like, she's not religious, but so she was just like, no, like, I think it's dumb. Like, you know, like in her interview alone, like she was just like, I don't care for it. Yeah. Like, I was like, oh, wow. Like, you would think if you're not that religious, you'd be more, like, lax on it, you know? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I wonder if that will come up later.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I think they had to talk through.
My only question is, how are they going to raise their kids? Because she's obsessed with having babies, as we know. So, like, they're going to have kids, or, you know, assuming everything goes well. So that was my only thing is, like, they're going to have to talk about that. Because if he's Christian, he has faith, you already know he's going to want his kids to be Christian and probably go to church with him. So, and she was like, well, religious people are dumb. So, like,
they're going to be God-fearing little bastards.
Well, I don't know how, you know, I guess into that she is. I just wonder if it will come up in that context of kids. I'm curious.
I didn't think about that. No.
You got to think, if you're going to get with someone religious, you got to think about that shit. Because it's like, they're going to want their kids to follow that.
Right.
You don't know how much, but they're going to want it. And do you want your kids doing, you got to think about that.
I did not. I just kept laughing at the editors, just trying to dramatize the whole thing. And then towards the end of the conversation, it was like nice guitar, cheerful music, and just like, all right, resolution.
Well, yeah, and then he was like, "Is this something that would make you want to give up on this?" And she was like, "No." And he was like, "Then I think we're at a great place." I was like, okay. So that's my only question: is what about their kids? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like for my kids, I would just treat it like Santa Claus.
What does that mean?
You know, like you tell your kids Santa exists until like they grow up and then they realize like, oh,
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Okay.
So like, I'll just treat it like that, like Santa Claus. If it comes up, be like, yeah, sure, he's out there. But if they want to find out it's not real or it is, it's up to them.
Right, that's your viewpoint. But what if you entered a relationship with someone who was like, okay, you know, I'm Islamic and I want my kids, like, we're going to go to mosque, like, every week, like, and I want them to read the Quran and all this stuff, like, and I'm really, like, about that, like, and they have to grow up knowing that, like, would you just be like, well, that's Santa Claus? Like, or, like, you know, you got to think about that. Not everybody's chill like that.
That's true. I don't know. I guess I've never even come across a situation where I really had to think about it, but I'd probably be the same. Be like, yeah, sure, go learn, do whatever you want. If you follow it, you follow. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, I call it the Santa Claus complex.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
You should do a new study.
What?
Write your thesis on the Santa Claus
Santa Claus
of religion.
complex?
Yes. The Santa Claus complex.
On it. That's
I
what
like that.
changed my psychology paper to.
Yeah.
Instead of, yeah.
Do your own experiment. Okay. Anything else on them?
I hate Amber's clothes.
Okay.
Well, not just clothes. It's when they were climbing the Mayan things. By the way, that's fucking cool that they got to see that shit.
Yo, that was so cool. And she was like, I love when she was like, did people used to climb these?
Yeah, they're sacrificed on top
I know.
of it.
I know. I was like,
that's what-
they did a lot more than climb
Yeah, that's
those.
that's the one I wanted to like. I wanted someone to say something. That's where I wanted Bobby to come in and be like, "Oh, I
And be
know
like,
what's happening."
Bitch, they poured blood on these. Yeah.
Crushed baby skulls, dead virgins, ooh, all of it. Goats, sheeps.
Sheeps. Yeah, she
Wait.
was like, did people climb these? But so when they were climbing, you had an issue with her attire?
I just hate that fucking honeymoon. She was wearing a honeymooner shirt.
Oh, really? Well,
It's-
remember in previous episodes, they used to open a box on their honeymoon and it showed them getting all of that stuff?
The Mr. and Mrs.
Mr.
Right
and
type
Mrs.
stuff.
and like flip-flops that were like, we're married. I don't know. We got the law involved. Like whatever like their fucking outfits said. This episode or like this season, they didn't do that. They didn't like open up a little package and have that stuff. Like some of
No, it's
those
handed
cute
to them.
touches are gone. Oh, they had that?
Yeah, when the therapist was like, "We're sending you to Cancun," they like picked up a basket and was like, "Here you go."
Oh, really? Okay, so then I just didn't pay attention to that.
How dare you?
I'm fucking up. Yeah, okay, so that's probably where she got the shirt from, right? That basket.
Probably. I don't know why I hate those things so much.
I think they're so stupid, and that would probably be the beginning of me like putting a little crack in the marriage because I'd be like, I'm not wearing that. I'd be like, it's fucking lame. Like, I'm not putting that. I'm not wearing a shirt that says Mrs. Like, that's stupid.
Mrs. Right or Mr. Left.
Yeah, like, I don't care if strangers know that what the situation is. Like, that's weird. Mm-hmm. Or like, Mrs. Right. Mr. Right, Mrs. Always Right. Huh? Like, I don't like shit like that. I don't think that's cute. I don't know why. That stuff makes me mad.
What's hilarious is I don't know if my mom watches this at all. Probably not. But she bought bought that for a wedding recently.
Yeah.
And it said Mr. Right and Mrs. Always Right on it. And she's like, "Isn't this cute?" And I had to be like,
You know
Yes.
what? I'll allow it because I love Maria and she's precious and everything she does is cute. So, and I love her. So she can do whatever she wants. She could punch a homeless guy in the face and I'd be like, Maria, I support you. That
She's
being
justified.
said, I'd be like, you deserved it. But that being said, I really don't like that stuff.
"Nope."
I don't like it. What are some other ones? They're like the ones with a pointer and it's like, I'm with her. Like, shit, I don't like that.
Or, fuck, there was another one that, I'm not going to remember it, but there was another one that fucking bothered me too.
Yeah.
I remember like in previous seasons, they had like the sandals that like left that imprint in the sand.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. It's sandals that were like, we got the law involved or like whatever it said. Like we get tax deductions now. Like, or I don't know, like whatever they say, you know? I should have got a prenup. Like whatever it says. Do you think they get prenups on this show? Because how do they protect their assets?
That's a good question.
Like, yeah, no. I mean, I'm like, I can't even speak. They have to.
I would 100% get a prenup.
If they get a background check, don't you think they would get a prenup?
Not necessarily. I don't think the two would be connected. I mean, the background check is just to make sure they're not, putting a murderer through everything.
Right.
But a prenup, like, I mean, they don't have, like, as far as we know, we don't have, like, extravagantly wealthy landowners and shit like that.
Tristan was driving a white BMW.
He's keeping up with the Joneses.
Like a nice one. No, he has his own business that has, like, multiple locations for tutoring. I feel like he's doing pretty well. I'm not saying he's rich, but, like, he makes 6 figures, I'm sure. I feel.
I would totally get a prenup signed.
100%.
Yeah, going into this show, be like, no, I don't. I know this little game of yours, therapist.
Right.
I know you guys are doing some off-table betting behind the scenes and everything.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fall victim to you. And I'm not going to have someone I met 8 weeks ago take half my shit.
Take half my shit. Like, they can take your retirement. Like, no. Like, anything you own. No.
I wonder if there's a way we can find that out.
I know. Should write in. I really want to go on the show, but, like, I'm worried about my assets. Like,
do you guys have prenups?
They could take half my student loan debt. I'll give that away. I'll give that up in the settlement.
That's what everyone really fights for. It's like,
right.
I want her debt.
I want her student loan debt.
I want her fine china and her debt.
You can have that. Nothing else, please. Yeah, I wonder that. But anyway, another thing on the thing, or you were saying about Amber's clothes, her fingernails, I can't.
Can't what?
Live with those things. She has, like, they're so square and short. Okay, they're not, nothing's wrong with however you want to do your fingernails, so. Everybody's different.
Mumbled under her voice.
Everyone's fucking different. But they're like, they're like gel nail. I think they have a tip. And they're gel. And they're like, or like acrylic, actually. They're like acrylic tip. And they're French manicure, meaning the tip is white and the rest of the nail is clear. It's so long. It's so square. It's square where it's like coming out around her nail. It looks like it's like, whoosh, and then it's so much white. Usually it's just supposed to be the tip, like, oh, just classy. I hate French manicure anyway, but whatever. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be just the tip. Hers is like this whole part of the nail, like the whole nail. What?
I'm looking at my nails now.
They're fine.
I'm observing them.
They're just cut, and you're a dude. It's like she paid for those. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I was just like,
that's my problem.
I was trying to imagine them on my hands.
Yeah, gross. And I'm not trying to be like a prude, or like bitchy. But I don't like that.
I just like how before it even started, you just mumbled it under your voice too. We'll just make this clear that everyone can do whatever they want with their fucking nails, but no, it's goddamn wrong.
Different strokes for different folks, but I don't agree with it. Like, I don't like it. You know, like she paid for that, and whoever did that should be ashamed of themselves, like for doing that to her. It's not her fault, because she got them done.
But what if that's what she wanted done? Then it is
I don't think she was like, "We'll make them look like shit." Like, like, you know, like I don't know. I don't like those nails. She's a sweet lady. She's also really nosy though. Like her and Dave were fucking nosy because they're the ones who called Tristan and called Mia. Like, what's her name? Bobby and Danielle didn't even. They're like, well, whatever. We're staying out of it. Amber called Mia and put her on speaker in front of everybody, and Dave did the same thing. Like, they're so nosy.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up when we got to Tristan and Mia.
Yeah.
But I guess we can start moving on. Dave and Amber, anything finally you have to say about their nails?
Shut up. No.
Do you want to show the camera what quality nails look like?
Yes. And these are almost 2 weeks old and they still look banging.
There you go, folks. That's a quality nail
Quality
there.
nail. And people always ask me where I get them done.
These are male nails.
Yeah. Male nail.
But, okay, so Tristan and Mia now. Mm-hmm. But when Dave and Amber called them at dinner, did you see everyone just kind of lean into the... Just like, ooh,
yeah.
what's going on here?
Yeah, lean in. Yeah.
And I like how Mia was so dismissive about everything she was talking, like, on the phone. She's like, oh, I just, ran into shit at the airport and stuff. Nothing big.
Well, I don't blame her. She doesn't fucking know these people. It's none of their business.
Agreed.
Sorry. I got really passionate. I'm not mad at you. I'm just like, I feel.
But when it comes to Tristan, the moment he's on the phone, he's like, oh, yeah, she got arrested.
Yeah, she was put behind bars. Well, I also think he probably needed to just, like, tell somebody and, like, get it off his chest a little bit. And
probably.
Also, it's not his, it, like, is his, I guess, trauma in a way, but it's also not. Like, it's different than, like, if I straight up went to jail, I don't think I'd want to just be like... I think it's also different with chicks and dudes, too. Like, to be a chick and to tell chicks you don't know, like, yeah, like, I went to jail. Like that, and those, I'm sorry, but those two girls, like, they're...
Yeah, she doesn't know.
They've not been, like, to jail. They've not been, like, in the hood. Like, they don't have any family. You know what I mean? Like, they're not exposed to any of that. They're going to judge.
You don't know that.
Yeah.
Amber and
I don't know where Amber's
been. Pretty hard bitches.
They could be hood rats. But I don't think, it just, I would think they would judge me. So I wouldn't have said anything either. But then with Tristan, it's like, he wasn't the one, he's not like, oh, I was in jail. You know what I mean? Like, if it was him, he probably wouldn't have told Dave either. He would have been like, oh, I ran into some problems and, you know?
Mm-hmm. But it was just funny to think he was just like, oh, yeah, she got arrested.
Right. She went to jail. Like, that's what he said.
I think the best part of, like, the whole, like, everyone bringing up the news type thing was they're in front of the Mayan ruins, right? And you could tell that they had to reset up for the camera because Bobby was like, hey, man, what's up? What news do you have? Like, totally deadpan thing, like, trying to reenact the thing. He's like... What news do you have for me?
Like the ring shop lady.
Yeah, exactly.
What is going on, my G? Like, give me the scoop. What is the 411?
What's happening, man?
What is the haps?
What's this news that we've been dying to hear about?
What is this news which I've not heard of before 2 seconds ago? What?
And then they reveal it, and, like, Danielle's like, whoa. Her mouth just gaped like huge. What?
But she was judgmental. Did you hear her? She was like, I feel bad for Tristan. And then she was like,
were.
Yeah. Well, she was more. You know what? She was more. Because then she was like, what did she say? She said something where I was like, she was like, Mia seems so sweet. That's what she said. She seems so sweet. And she was talking about how she goes to, like, church and Bible study all the time. Like, and she went to jail.
I feel like that's not too weird of a thing to say, though. Like, that anytime you're confronted with news that, like, completely differs from the person that you already know, those are, like, common things to bring up. Be like, but she said all these things with arts aren't, in characteristics with the person that she told me. Yeah,
but not on TV and not behind her back. That's what I feel. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't like that. I really don't. Like, I know, all jokes aside, like, I'm talking shit on somebody's fingernails here. Like, first of all, I would say I'd be comfortable saying that to Amber's face. Like, it's fine. But, I don't know them. Like, it's like, I don't know. Like, if somebody went to jail that I knew, I really wouldn't, like, tell a camera. I don't know. Like, she said she goes to church and she went to jail. Like, that just seems bitchy to me. Yeah. I think there's some things that women do that are bitchy that men don't pick up on. But other women know that's bitchy.
Really? Because I just saw it as gossipy.
Yeah, which is bitchy.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Yeah, like if we have a group of friends and I'm over in the corner being like, she said she does this and this is what's really happening. Like, that's so bitchy.
All right, when you sell it like that, yeah, it makes more sense.
Yeah, like it's fake because when they, here's why it's also fake, because when they reunite in Dallas later, she's going to be like, Mia, like, that must have been so scary. Like, I'm so sorry. She's not going to be like, yeah, I was surprised because, like, you go to church. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know you were a criminal. Like, she's not going to come up with like that at her. So that's why it's bitchy to me.
Yeah, I get that.
Because she would never say it to her face. But she'll say it on TV. Mm-hmm. I thought that was, I know Danielle's your girl, but I thought that was bitchy.
Don't you dare say a goddamn thing about Danielle. I will jump across this table, tackle, and beat the living shit out of you. I got your back, Danielle. But did you hear what Dave had to say about the whole situation, though, when they brought him on camera? He's like, yeah, if that were Amber, I'd be gone already. I'd be talking to lawyers.
See, he also threw shade, like, and that's fucked up because he probably, because he was like, oh, like, if that was Amber, I would have been gone. He's like, that's just crazy. Like, he's sticking around. You know, but I respect him for that. And it's like, that's his nice way of being like, I think Tristan's dumb. Like, that's what he's saying. And like, fuck you, Dave. Because you know what Tristan would never do? Ruin me a salsa experience. He would never sweat his ass off and be yelling at her in front of a strange Mexican man.
I didn't think when this whole show started, I'd be feeling so bad for Tristan.
He's a wonderful man, okay? He deserves the world. And I'm starting to feel like Mia is really sweet too, okay? And I just think she's sweet too. And I just think they're
I don't. I think she's an
precious.
idiot.
You can be a sweet idiot.
No, okay, sure, she's sweet. Okay, fine, damn it, you got me there.
Yeah, like, she obviously, the situation for anyone who hasn't, why are you listening to this if you haven't watched the show, but thank you so much.
It's because they'd like to look at me.
Yes, they just want to see you. Mm-hmm. Main attraction. Mm-hmm. Okay, Mia was obviously arrested, blah, blah. We talked about all this. She came out. She was like, charges were dropped. She was like, I don't know that guy. Like, when he pointed to the guy and was like, who's this? She goes, who? Him? I don't know. We talked about that. Turns out she pretty much dated that guy. Mm-hmm. That guy was a rebound from a previous relationship, and shit went awry, and he's charging her for stalking.
They really dodged the subject the entire time they're going through it. Because all they explained was that she dated him. Or
she briefly dated him as a rebound, and
they didn't bring up anything about the stalking charges, like why, like they didn't even bring up her side of the story of like why she would be charged with stalking or something like that. She could have been like, well, he probably did it because of this, and that, and stuff. But they didn't do any of that. They're being really wishy-washy.
Well, I get it because it's her life. Like, I know that they agreed to go on the show and like, you know, do all this shit on camera.
But they put their lives on a pedestal for me to laugh at and enjoy. And that's the main attraction of this show is for me to laugh at the misery of others.
You could still laugh, but the thing is, I get it. I wouldn't want to talk about it either. It's like, in general, it's like a previous relationship that happened too. You don't want to be like talking about that. And I know that Tristan was kind of like about the fact that she lied, which I completely get. Like, you shouldn't lie, for sure. Mm-hmm. That being said, I get why she did it. I can understand why she would do that.
But do you condone it?
I don't think that it's okay that she lied, and I don't think anyone should lie. We talked about this. You should be honest because the person you're with should accept your past. If they accept you, that means they accept everything you've done before and that's happened to you. Mm-hmm. So I don't think you should lie. I think you should always be proud of everything you've done and just, you know, say it. But I get why she did it. I don't think it's okay, but I think she should be forgiven for it. Like, I do think she should be forgiven for it because she did come clean, and I can totally see why she would lie.
Yeah, to save face.
Not even to save face, but just why she wouldn't want to talk about it and would just kind of want to be like, I don't know that guy. I'm done with this. Like, I can see that. Like, I wouldn't. You got to think of how long they've known each other, too. Like, they have only known each other. This would be like maybe their third or fourth date as far as intimacy goes for them, right? Like, third or fourth. I don't want to talk about my previous relationships with someone after that. And general. And then let alone if it was like ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't want to talk about that. And I would really want to just glaze over it and be like, because that stuff will come later. I don't think she intended to always lie, you know, forever. Like those things come with intimacy and you feel closer to someone, you open up more. Not just like after, like on the third date, be like, well, I had a rebound that I fucked and he charged me for stalking. You know what I mean? Like and that stuff can scare someone away when it's really not that situation. Mm-hmm. So I get it.
So what you're saying is there's like a time and a place for that to actually come up as opposed to just like, we just met each other. Stuff.
Yeah, imagine if on every first date you immediately laid everything out there. Honestly, like if I did that, I would never probably get a second date. And I don't even do stuff that's that crazy. But if I just on a like first date was like, well, I was in this relationship and like this is what happened. You know what I mean? And like one time I did this thing that I'm really ashamed of, but like I'm a good person, you know, but like shit happens. Like people would be like, you're nuts.
No, yeah, that's true. You gotta have what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? You gotta be vulnerable, but not like overshare when it's not appropriate.
Exactly. And sometimes not appropriate to be that. Like that's a red flag too. If you meet someone and they're like oversharing already or like overly being vulnerable to you, it's like, whoa, why are you doing that? You know? Mm-hmm. So I get it. And I don't know, the situation brought them closer apparently. What do you think?
I guess. I don't know.
That's what they believe, they said.
I just feel bad for Tristan, and I just think maybe I'm just a dick. I think she's an idiot. Like,
no, you're not a dick.
But I think they're just stupid. Like, I get where you're coming from, though. You know, you don't share too much too soon.
Right.
But what they should have done is like, and we went over this like last time, is you know, she should have came home. You know, they hugged, and then they had their day. You know, like let's just relax. You know, forget this ever happened, and then the next day be like, hey, can we talk? And then that's when you bring up when you had the opportunity to be honest. That's when you should have been honest as opposed to hiding it. Because he gave her an opportunity, he gave her a chance, and she didn't take it. And then she takes that and is like, you know what? No, I'm going to decide to bring it up a week later.
Right. Well, I think it was like 2 days later or a day later. It was after they fucked. By the way, they kissed. They fucked.
I know. Finally. It was funny because I was as I was watching it, I was writing my notes. There's a part where she says she wants to make it up to Tristan, and I was like, and I'm in my head, I'm like,
with her body.
That's what I was kind of getting to. I was like, well, if you want to make it up to him, at least kiss him. And then, and then the next scene, it showed them like the door closing and them kissing.
And they kissed.
And I was like, oh, well, there goes my power.
Right. First kiss, first fuck, all in one night for them. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Yes. So they had sex, and I think that I personally believe that that's probably why that came out. I think they fucked, and then afterwards she was in that like post, we just banged, I'm still vulnerable. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, because whatever you believe, having sex is very vulnerable.
Right.
So
you're sticking things inside of each other.
Right. Butt naked.
Yeah.
Like, and you could be killed during sex so much easier. You know, like you walk around being kind of on guard, like during sex, like shit, you're like not even in this planet with your mindset.
Is that a fear you've had while having sex? Like, oh, I could be killed right now. And you have like a sword and shield in the middle of it, just like, you never know, babe, just in case. I'm really vulnerable right now. I better keep a sword and shield on me right now.
I mean, no, but that's just me saying, like, that's my, I'm not like gonna, I don't know. That's my testament to how vulnerable you are during sex.
You could get murdered.
I'm not like an emotional person. I'm not gonna be like, you could be. I don't. You could be killed during sex. That's what I'm saying. Easily, because you're so like you're practically asleep. That's how like not conscious you are. You know what I mean?
Would you sleep during sex?
No. You know how like.
Wait, hold on. Before you stick it in. Let me put my
your nightcap or whatever.
My nightcap. Let me go to sleep. Let me get my sword and shield. Cause You know, I gotta get my Z's in, and I might get murdered during this, but enjoy
Wait,
your time.
you don't have sex like that? You don't put your sleep mask over your eyes and hold a gun?
That's why I think it's so funny, because it's exactly how I have sex.
Oh, great. We're twins. No, like, you know, when you're asleep, you're so vulnerable to being killed because you're unconscious. Okay, sex is similar because you're not, like, thinking, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one's having sex, and, like, you hear a loud noise, and you're, like, you know, ready. Like, you're not. So, anyway, they were vulnerable, and she shared.
Go on.
This is what I'm saying, making sense.
It is, but I have to make fun of it.
Yeah, that's okay. I appreciate that. So, okay, they just...
My temples hurt.
They finished being so vulnerable.
And
sex is a big deal. Yeah, no one killed them. And sex is a big deal for her, right? So they finished being vulnerable, so she still felt that way, I think. She was still in that mode of, like, being vulnerable. So that's, I think, why she told all that at that point. So, I don't know. I wonder how long, you know, when would she have told or whatever, but it's probably going to be hard for him to trust her.
I mean, in good reason.
Totally. Yeah.
I mean, arrested for stalking. Mm-hmm. And...
lied about it.
Yeah.
Looks pretty bad. Yeah.
I'd probably be in the same boat as Tristan. Be like, I don't know if I trust you right now.
I think that the only reason he does is because we're not getting the whole story. And the story must be that, like, that dude's psycho.
You think?
Yeah, well, the charges were dropped, so she didn't stalk him. So it's like, who filed the charges being like she was stalking this guy? It must have been him being like, I'm being stalked. And they found out that it was fake, so, like, he must have been crazy, dude. She must have, like, had a rebound, and he was, like, a little bit nuts.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, that's the only way I think Tristan could forgive her. Like, his Captain Save-A-Ho mentality would kick in. And then he could, you know.
He could take out his enemy while he's having sex. Because that's when he's most vulnerable for murder.
Yeah. I can't. Yeah, you could go kill that guy while he's fucking.
Mia's on the other end of the line. It's like, did you kill him yet? It's like, hold on. I'm waiting for him to
Hold on, he's about to come.
I'm going to get him in the middle of a nut bust.
He just gets shot in the back of the head. Hey, bro.
Surprise!
Hey, bro. Did you know you're vulnerable? What? Wow. Now I'm about to sleep with a gun next to my bed. Gotta be careful out here.
Yeah, the
Shit's getting
streets.
vulnerable.
There is one thing that Mia said that bothered me, that ordinarily would never bother me.
What was
but
it?
because of her past, there's one part where she just said, and I quote, "I just want you to love me unconditionally."
I wrote that down. I'm trying to unlock my phone to get my notes and I can't. I wrote Mia wants unconditional love, ... Not sure how I feel about that.
So I'm not the only one that felt weird about that. Because
Yeah.
unconditional love, yes, I get. But there's a limit to what that should go to. Like, it sounds like she's saying that because, like, I have more mistakes that I might bring up, so you better love me now.
Yeah, it sounds like she just wants him to let her do whatever she wants, and he still stays married to her. Mm-hmm. Like, that's how that sounded, honestly.
Exactly.
I think the place she was coming from in that is probably that she's been treated poorly in the past. And I think that's what she meant, is, like, she just wants someone who won't give up and who will keep trying and, like, keep loving her. I think that's probably what she meant.
Oh, that's probably most definitely what she meant.
But it came off.
But in the context of, like, us as a viewer.
Right. And her just getting out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's totally taken wrong.
Yeah. No, I was kind of like, because, like.
You haven't earned that yet.
You haven't earned that. And, yeah, you haven't earned that. And also, unconditional love, like, that's a big request after 3 days. You know?
It's been a week, not 3 days.
Or a week. Well, it just feels like such a short period of time to me. And it kind of has been 3 days.
Because it is.
She was locked up for 2 of them. So it's been 7. They had 5 days together.
Good point. Good
right.
point.
So, I don't know. He's delivering, dude. He loves her unconditionally. They said they love each other, pretty much. He said he loves her, and she said she's falling in love with him. And I think they just had sex, and that confused them. And they thought that was love. But that's fine. Because, again, could have been killed during sex. And they weren't. And that's God's plan.
Don't take me out now, God.
God, I've got it. Finish this.
Just wait till I get my baby juice out.
Ew, baby. Ew. I'm not going to be able to stop thinking of that.
You're welcome.
Thanks. You've ruined every sexual experience for me in the future. Can you imagine? What if you were having sex? This is something Amber would do. She'd be having sex and she'd be like, I just want your baby juice inside me. And Dave would be like,
okay, as long as we don't salsa dance again.
Right. As long as we never salsa dance and our kids are Christian.
Mm-hmm. All my sperms come sailing out with a little cross around their neck.
Yes. Exactly. Do you remember those kids, like, who were children of Catholic people and they wore those necklaces?
A rosary.
No. It was like, okay. They were like white Catholic people at my pool when I was young. And they had all these kids. And I remember I asked my mom, I was like, Mom, like, why do they have so many kids? Like, that's kind of weird. Like, they literally have 10 kids. I was like, it's a lot. Like, my dad's one of 8, but it's not in America, so.
Yeah, same thing with my mom.
More reasonable. Yeah, like, but it's odd culturally here. And my mom was like, oh, they're Catholic, so, like, they can't use condoms. And I was like, I'm 6, so what's a condom? But I was like, oh, what? Like, that's crazy. I was like, so they just, like, keep having kids? And my mom was like, yeah, like, they're not allowed to use birth control. I was like, oh. And I was like, why do they wear these necklaces? And she was like, well, that I don't know, because it's fucking weird. They had these necklaces that was, like, black, and it was, like, leather, a little leather square, and it had a thing on it. And I don't know what that meant, but, like, all the kids had them, and they obviously couldn't take them off because they wore them in the pool.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, if anybody knows.
Were they
if
Mormon?
The one person watching
Mormons
this,
have lots of kids, too.
Maybe. My mom was like, they're probably Catholic, which is obviously something that's generalized and potentially not true at all. But probably. I don't know. We didn't know what their necklace was. If anyone knows, if the one person listening to this knows what those kids at the pool were wearing,
hit us up, but not during sex.
Clever. Clever.
You know, it's funny. It's like, I know I talk shit on religion, like, while we're on this podcast. Well, I don't really talk shit. You know, I understand it. But I myself was raised Catholic, too.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. And you don't know what those necklaces are?
No.
Maybe they were Mormon, because they were white people. They were, like, pasty white people, but, like, not Irish.
Like, straight out of Utah Mormon.
Yeah. Like, they were socially awkward and weird, and, like, nobody wanted to play with those kids at the pool, because they were, like, rough and just weird. Yeah. Like, one of them tried to drown me once. Like, they were weird.
Really?
He wasn't trying, like, he wasn't malicious, but they would just, like, horseplay, I guess, and it just got too far. And I was like, I'm not being involved in this.
He's pushing you down underwater.
Yeah.
This is God's plan.
He was, like, waterboarding me. And I was like, I don't have any information. Like, you know? Kids at the pool.
Well, having said that, any future predictions or... Which couple do you think is going to last as of right now?
I'm going Mia and Tristan. Because if they can get over that shit... If you can get over somebody going to jail and lying to you about it, like, what are your boundaries? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They don't exist, so...
Okay. I'm going Bobby and Danielle.
Yeah, they're so fucking... You know, I really think that both of them will. I don't know. All of them are doing pretty good. This is the season where they're all doing pretty good. Nobody had really major blowouts. Like, nobody sat on the balcony. Like, that stuff just didn't happen.
That's true. No balcony or beach sitters.
Okay, and on that note, no one swam in the beach.
Really?
What the fuck is that? They went to Cancun to a resort that's on the beach, and no one swam in the ocean? Why'd you go?
Maybe they did it and show it on camera.
Why, though? Why wouldn't they?
Because they had their own pool on the outside of the resorts.
I found that baffling that no one swam in the ocean in Mexico, where it was beautiful.
Clear blue waters.
Yeah, they kept showing like an eagle or a bird's eye view, and it looked so pretty. And I was like, oh my God, no one swam.
I don't know.
Like,
That's weird.
Yeah.
I agree.
Anyway, I had to bring that up because I was like, that's so weird. No one swam.
Well, top moron of the week.
Wait, so you think Danielle and Bobby will last and that's it? Do you think anyone else will? Be honest.
Amber and Dave are going to crumble.
I don't know why I'm getting that feeling too.
This dude sweat himself to death and overreacted over salsa.
Right. What he can't
Salsa
handle
dancing.
much. Yeah.
What are they going to do when they go to IKEA together? He's going to sweat himself to death and be like, I can't stand the Swedish furniture. Fuck you.
The Swedish furniture. I don't want any goddamn meatballs, Amber.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So they're going to crumble. Me and Tristan, 50-50. Bobby and Danielle.
You're going all the way with that.
I can't. I hate that I'm even choosing them. Because Bobby was like my psychotic, like, juicy, like, that sounds really gross.
No, we thought he was going to bring the drama.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we thought that. Let's see what happens when they introduce their dogs. And when her dog shits all over his stuff.
Ooh, which reminded me, the pre-cap with Amber and Dave
Amber's
and the cat.
cat.
Yep.
Yeah, they are going to crumble because he was so, he was like irrationally mad. And I know I obviously have things I apparently get irrationally mad about on this podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm not actually mad. You know, like, like I'm not like, I'm mad, but I'm not actually mad. Like, that cat, all the cat did was like, you know, you leave toilet paper out, cats do that to it, and they just kind of unravel it. Mm-hmm. He was furious. Like, that's not really, I think, a reasonable reaction to that. Sorry, now you have to put your toilet paper higher. Or, you know what I mean? Get a different, like, solutions, bro. It's not, like, the way he reacted to that.
I mean, at least the pre-cap sold it that way.
Yeah, but he was like, come on. Like, he yells about something because he was yelling.
Mm-hmm. They're crumbling. Which is why I can't wait for these next few episodes, because when they started getting into their normal everyday routines,
yeah,
the honeymoon phase is over. That's when it all comes crashing down like a house of cards.
That's when shit comes to light, because if your dogs don't get along, your cat's fucking up his toilet paper, those are the real battles.
You're sweating through all your shirts.
You're sweating profusely. Yeah, the pre-cap did. I'm excited to see Amber. I think the cat also, like, steps on his succulents. Did you see that? They showed, like,
yep.
The succulents and, like, 2 leaves were broken off of one. I cannot imagine being that attached to succulents. I'd be like, well, fuck it, and I just throw them out. I'd be like, cat's alive, like, it's a living being. These succulents, so I'm going to go plant them somewhere. Who gives a shit?
Again, we are rational people.
That's true.
These are people that went on this show. You know what? At least we see ourselves as rational. Someone's watching this right now, and they're making a podcast about our podcast. Like, no, Ariana and Ricky are fucking dipshit dicks. Did you hear when he said that or she said that?
Right. She's irrationally mad about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but, like, I mean, what are the succulents family heirlooms? Like, come on, dude. Okay, a cat ate your succulent. Get over it. Like, I just, like, there's more to life, dude. We're all gonna be dead one day. Like, can you just chill?
Just fucking dance a little.
Right, just dance it off, bro. Dance it off.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't, because he'll be embarrassed and sweaty.
Did we choose top moron of the week yet?
No, you go first. Because I always go first. Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking.
For those of you listening, Ricky's blowing into his right eye.
I want to say Mia. Just
again? She's been like 3 weeks in a row for you.
No, last week I chose the producers.
Oh, yeah.
But I wanted to choose Mia.
Yep. And the week before that, I think you chose Mia.
Because she's an idiot.
For the stalking thing?
just like lying and being dishonest and waiting so long to bring all that other shit when she had an opportunity to bring it up and be honest, and then she's like, no, I'm gonna wait a while.
You're right.
I'm gonna wait until I fuck you and emotionally attach you, and then I'm gonna bring it up.
Yeah. That is the way to look at it too. It's like, I'm gonna wait until we've had a magical moment, and then I'm gonna shatter it by bringing up that I lied.
Mm-hmm. She's trying to control him by the dick.
I mean, yeah, I can see why she lied again. You know, I don't think it's right. I don't think that she should have lied. I get it, though. So I just feel bad for both of them based on that. I would say my top moron of the week is Dave for his behavior at the Salsa Hut. Like, I mean, sorry, but on national TV, he sweat to the point where he looked drenched and then he yelled at his wife. That's fucking moronic, dude. You know?
Agree. Yeah. No,
so he's my moron.
That's a good moron.
Yeah.
All right. And scene.
Yeah. I think that wraps it up. Just a couple tips for anyone listening or watching.
Carry a sword and shield when you're banging.
Exactly. You are most vulnerable during sex. You need to protect yourself. Have a gun. Anything ready.
A shank.
Yeah.
A condom.
A condom. Little sailors.
Little sailors.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Have everything ready.
On that note, subscribe to us anywhere where podcasts are found or YouTube. You know, check us out on berpod. That's where all the episodes are for all you lovely folks out there.
Yes.
And goodbye.
Bye.